Nice way to get started in our boar show with our division of junior boars here. I think some nice pieces to work with. I like entry number 4 to go ahead and lead us off. And I thought the hog there that offered the most from a breeding sire aspect, from a feature perspective in terms of foot size and rear bone. I love the angle and curvature and bend to his hind leg and his ability to get out and flex and use it correctly. His ability to stretch out of his shoulder and reach and push and propel like he needs to. Comes with a little more frame. Comes with a little bit more advantage in terms of spread and power versus some others in this class. I think a very nice place here to start us off with. Entry number 2 is going to be second. And obviously one that's more on the immature side of things in terms of just maturity pattern and in terms of age perhaps. We hate to speculate, but obviously a smaller looking individual that appears to be just a little bit younger than the rest of them. Nonetheless, I think the future's bright for this type of hog. His basics are covered well. He's maybe just not quite as mature, just not quite as comfortable yet in terms of his hind leg set. Wants to pick him up and put him down just a little bit narrower gauge than what we found in our champion. But his moderation of spine is already where he's at in terms of rib shape and spread and dimension, and the angles he's able to offer as he comes to us, I thought were certainly exceptional for his age and landed him in a very good class to be second. A third in this particular drive is entry number 3. I think a hog that is potentially the class leader just in terms of bone and foot size circumference there. We like a good rugged type of boar when we go to sire selection, and we can appreciate those things about him. We set him in motion, and that's where we begin to have some trouble rise up. He wants to tighten the most, straighten the most, and just restrict the most out of the right side of his hock there and off of his rear step. He wants to straighten out his angles there. He wants to get tighter in terms of his joint work, and just doesn't want to flex and bend with the same kind of comfort we find in the two above him. Fix that, and I think we've got an awfully stout one that's certainly got some pieces to build around there. Entry number 5 is going to go ahead and be fourth in this class, and for me, that's one that just gets a bit steeper about his rump, and in doing so wants to close up a bit too much for me at the base of his skeleton when we study him going away. I like to give him just a little bit more power off the backside of his hip. I'd like to just level him out a little bit in terms of where his hip and his shoulder want to meet at. I need to just see him a bit more composed in his top line there, but still a good hog that in terms of range of motion and comfort's very good there. Has some body, has some flesh. Things are trending in the right direction in terms of sire indicators and stoutness. Need to just see a little bit more width going away. We round out with entry number 1. A hog here that we just need to elevate and make bigger in his kind. He's a little bit shorter in terms of his forearm and his cannon bone there. He's a bit ouchy yet. Even in terms of being a younger hog and lighter weight, he's a bit tender in terms of where he wants to place his front feet. He's softer in terms of his front pastern. Need to just pick him up on his feet and elevate him a bit to see him stand any higher. Congratulations on a good class of junior boars.